Apostles and Sahaba, companions of Jesus versus companions of Muhammad. The apostles of Jesus and the Sahaba, companions of Prophet Muhammad, hold central places in the traditions of Christianity and Islam, respectively. Both groups were dedicated followers who played instrumental roles in spreading the teachings of their prophets. Despite their shared mission, the historical and spiritual journeys of the apostles and Sahaba reveal significant differences in their roles, cultural contexts, and contributions to their respective faiths. Let's explore these companions' lives and the pivotal roles they played in preserving and expanding their faith traditions. The apostles of Jesus, messengers of the gospel. The apostles were the closest followers of Jesus, chosen to witness his ministry, death, and resurrection. According to the New Testament, Jesus selected 12 men as apostles, entrusting them with the mission to spread his message. These apostles, including notable figures like Peter, James, John, and Paul, were tasked with preaching the gospel, performing miracles, and guiding early Christian communities. Their efforts are documented primarily in the 4 Gospels and the Book of Acts in the New Testament. The role of the apostles was distinct. They became leaders in the early church and faced tremendous persecution, often facing imprisonment and martyrdom for their beliefs. The apostles' significance in Christianity is heightened by their role in witnessing Jesus' resurrection, which is central to Christian belief in salvation and eternal life. Peter, for example, became a foundational figure in the establishment of the Christian church, while Paul's missionary journeys expanded Christianity beyond the Jewish community, laying the foundation for a global faith. Their teachings and epistles are still integral to Christian doctrine and practice today. The Sahaba of Prophet Muhammad, guardians of Islam's teachings. In Islam, the Sahaba were the companions of Prophet Muhammad, those who embraced his message, witnessed his life, and assisted him in establishing the Muslim community. The Sahaba came from diverse backgrounds, including former slaves, merchants, and leaders, and were unified by their devotion to Islam. Key companions like Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali later became the Rashidun, the rightly guided caliphs, continuing Muhammad's mission and leading the nascent Islamic State. The role of the Sahaba was multifaceted. Not only did they participate in military campaigns to defend the Muslim community, but they also took on roles in preserving and transmitting the Quran and the Hadith, sayings and actions of Muhammad, which became core to Islamic teachings. Their dedication ensured that the Quran was meticulously memorized, recited, and eventually compiled into a written form. The Hadith, collected and transmitted by companions like Aisha, Ibn Abbas, and Abu Huraira, serve as sources of guidance on religious and ethical matters in Islam. The Sahaba were crucial in the rapid spread of Islam beyond the Arabian Peninsula, establishing it as a world religion. Their influence extended into governance, military strategy, and legal development, laying the foundation for Islamic civilization. Devotion and sacrifice, parallel challenges. Both the apostles and Sahaba displayed profound loyalty and courage in their devotion, often under circumstances of persecution and hardship. The apostles faced threats from Roman authorities and Jewish leaders, who saw the nascent Christian movement as a threat to established religious norms. The Sahaba, meanwhile, faced ostracism, physical attacks, and exile from the Quraysh tribe and other opponents of Islam in Mecca. Despite these obstacles, both groups persevered in their faith. The apostles continued to preach about Jesus and his resurrection even at the cost of their lives, inspiring countless believers to embrace Christianity. Likewise, the Sahaba stood by Muhammad during battles and hardships, enduring sacrifices to protect the Muslim community and spread Islam. Their unwavering loyalty and willingness to risk everything for their prophets exemplify the depths of their faith and dedication. Key differences in mission and legacy. While the apostles and Sahaba share similarities in their devotion, they differ in terms of their missions and the ways their legacies are preserved within their faith traditions. For the apostles, their mission was largely spiritual, emphasizing the spread of Jesus' teachings and establishing early Christian communities. Their focus was less on governance and more on nurturing the faith. The apostles' teachings and experiences were recorded in the New Testament, serving as a scriptural foundation for Christianity. Christians revere the apostles as saints and view them as exemplars of faith, devotion, and sacrifice. Many Christian denominations celebrate their lives and martyrdom through feast days and memorials. The Sahaba, however, had a dual role that included both religious and political responsibilities. They not only spread the message of Islam but also participated in establishing the Islamic State, with key companions taking on leadership roles after Muhammad's death. The Sahaba are highly revered in Islam, with Sunni Muslims regarding them as paragons of piety. The Hadith collections, many of which rely on the testimony of the Sahaba, are second only to the Quran in authority, guiding Muslims in religious, ethical, and legal matters. Spiritual lessons and lasting influence. The Apostles and the Sahaba continue to serve as spiritual role models within their faith communities. The Apostles' journeys of faith, often marked by doubts and moments of growth, resonate with Christians who see them as relatable examples of discipleship. Their writings, preserved in the New Testament, provide theological insights that shape Christian doctrines and inspire believers to remain steadfast in faith. Similarly, the Sahaba inspire Muslims through their exemplary conduct, devotion to the Prophet, and sacrifices for Islam. The Hadith collections offer Muslims a practical guide on how to follow Islamic principles, and the lives of the companions embody the teachings of Islam. By reflecting on the lives of the Sahaba, Muslims are reminded of the values of loyalty, sacrifice, and faithfulness. Conclusion. The Apostles of Jesus and the Sahaba of Prophet Muhammad stand as monumental figures in Christianity and Islam, respectively. Though their missions and legacies differ, both groups are unified by their unwavering dedication to their prophets and the divine messages they preached. The Apostles' spiritual focus on Jesus' teachings and the Sahaba's dual role in religious propagation and state building reflect the distinct path each group took. Their examples continue to inspire believers across centuries, serving as models of faith, loyalty, and devotion in the ongoing journey of both Christianity and Islam.